I made cookies out of Mr. Beast Feastable chocolate bars. I am the only person online to have done this. I have checked. In this video, we are only focusing on the dark chocolate bars, so we did every single bar except for the milk chocolate. And to make sure this was done right, I baked cookies for 3 hours. This wasn't just one sample size of cookies. And then I brought in 15 different people to blindly taste test every cookie so we will know for sure which Feastable makes the best chocolate chip cookie. Let's jump right into this. It all started on July 3rd. This was cookie day, and then July 4th is cookie testing day. Let's make these cookies. The flavors I used are original, quinoa crunch, almond, and chocolate sea salt. These chocolate bars are $3 a piece, so these are gonna be some good cookies. Now the first thing I do is get the butter out so it can start softening, because you do not want to put the butter in the microwave. It is not the same thing. I know you think it'll soften it faster, but please do not put it in the microwave. Now that the butter has softened, I went ahead and got out the rest of my ingredients. I will have a list in the description box for you guys if you want to make these yourself. Then I set the oven to 375. Then I got 2 sticks of butter ready to cream together with the sugar. 1 cup brown sugar and 1 cup of white sugar. We're gonna use the paddle attachment. And if you don't have a stand mixer, that's okay. You can do this by hand. It will just take you a little bit longer. Next, I got out a small bowl to put the dry ingredients into. Now you will see me scooping out 3 cups of flour. Yes, I am in fact using an ice cream scoop. You mean you don't use an ice cream scoop to scoop out flour? Maybe you're the weird one, not me. Think about that. Now that I'm finished with the flour, I'm gonna move on to the baking soda. And it is 1 teaspoon, but I'm using a half teaspoon, so that's why you're seeing me do it twice. And it kind of looks like fairy dust sprinkling over the Cinderella castle behind me in the background. I'm just now noticing that. Then I add 1 teaspoon of sea salt. You can use regular salt, it just won't taste the same, so I would recommend sticking with sea salt. Then you mix it all together. I use this fancy vanilla, but I put it in this little bottle because it's easier to use. You're gonna add the vanilla to your butter and sugar mix, not the flour mix. Add 2 large eggs, though I never understood why they're called large eggs, because it's not like they're the size of an ostrich egg. That's what I've always considered a large egg, but I guess a moderately large egg for a chicken. And now that the eggs are in, we're gonna go ahead and mix up the wet ingredients until it's well blended. It's a good time to go ahead and retrieve the cookie pans from their home, because we are gonna need them. It's finally time to add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. I just gradually added in the flour until I didn't have any more of that mixture left. And then you'll know it's done whenever you can't see any more of the white and you're just left with this nice brown, golden, fluffy texture. Please don't eat it, you'll get salmonella. Okay, now that we have our batter done, it's time for the fun part, and we're gonna add the chocolate. We're gonna start out with original and quinoa crunch. I'm just going to take my first set of batter, divide it out into another bowl so I can have 2 different flavors. So here's what it looked like divided into 2. Then I just unwrapped the chocolate bars. I'm only gonna make you guys watch me cut up the chocolate one time. Eventually I did find out it was easier if you just snapped the chocolate bars into pieces while they were still wrapped up. But I didn't know that at this point, so you could watch me chop it. I'm gonna fold this in by hand, that way the mixer doesn't chop it up too much. That way it's kind of more of a chunk instead of a chocolate powder, because that's what the mixer will probably do to it. I used a cookie scoop to make sure that all the cookies will be uniform and the exact same size. I also used this really cool non-stick sheet liner, and if you don't have one of those, I'll link it in the description, but also you can use parchment paper. Since I used a larger scoop, I'm going to be baking my cookies at 8 minutes. If yours are smaller, you might want to try more like 6 or 7 minutes. Fortunately for you guys, you're only going to have to watch me make cookie dough 1 time. Unfortunately for me, I have to make it twice because I'm going to have 4 different chocolate bars in each cookie batter. I'm going to make 2 different cookie doughs from it. It'll be the same cookie dough, it's just it'll have a different chocolate, so I'm going to split each one in half. So if you wanted to recreate this, you'll probably want to make 2 as well. And cue second cookie dough making time lapse. This seems like a good time to go ahead and mention, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. That's how YouTube and me know that you guys are liking these videos. And I mean, I did spend a lot of time and effort into these, so I would really appreciate it if you guys would give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you, bye. I'm so tired. I started making cookies at 2 and it is now 5 o'clock and I'm not done yet. So the bottoms are nice and brown and crispy. All right, enough fun and games. It's time to get back at it. We put more chocolate into cookies, and then I took cookies out of the oven, and I put cookies in the oven, and I stirred more chocolate, and then I took more cookies out of the oven, and then I finally put the last 2 cookies in the oven, and we were done. After that 3 hours of work, I was left with a ridiculous amount of cookies, but luckily I had a plan to get rid of them, so that wasn't going to be a problem. It was around this time that Lily and Caleb decided to wake up from their nap, just in time to take the cookies that I had just slaved over while they slept. But it's like they say, there's no rest for the whiskin'.
She's like, yeah, sure, all of them.
And then they judged my hard work, and all I got from Caleb was "It's good," and Lily said, "Mm-hmm."
Good on me? Mm-hmm.
I will say, if nothing else, these cookies did turn out very aesthetically pleasing. All right, it was time to conduct the first experiment. We went over to a friend's house that night and brought over just a couple cookies. I just brought them like one of each cookie. Although tomorrow we're gonna have to get a lot fancier with how we test it because we're gonna be doing a much bigger group. They voted for quinoa and sea salt. I have got a lot of cookies ready to go. I went ahead and decided to do individual plates for testing because I figured it'd be easiest. So I had all of the cookies cut into fourths, and I gave each person one of each cookie, and then I have a letter correlating with the name of the chocolate underneath the plate. That way I'll know which one's their favorite. It's finally the moment we've all been waiting for. We're gonna find out which Feastable makes the best cookie. Here we go. I feel obligated to tell you guys she's my mom, so she probably felt obligated to say that. Say A. A is your favorite? So that's the chocolate almonds. So we have one vote for chocolate almonds.
But I also like them all. They were all good.
I think I found my favorite. Q is my favorite.
So your favorite is quinoa crunch?
Yes.
So I'm Chewy Yazzy's cookie test to see how this goes.
He's so cute. He's just so cute.
Cookie A is my favorite.
The following individuals have requested to keep their identities disclosed, so we're going to refer to them as Brandon, Lovely Paris, and Flowers.
I'm going with SS.
So your favorite is sea salt.
That's it.
Okay, so O is my favorite.
So that is original.
I like the original one. It's fantastic.
That's the first vote for it.
Alright.
I really like SS.
SS is your favorite?
Mm-hmm.
So that is chocolate sea salt.
Ooh, I like that one.
I think I like the A.
The A one? So that's almonds.
Oh, really? Yep, I like this one. SS.
Sea salt.
Yeah,
your
that
favorite.
one was my favorite.
Thank you, Pyro. Like A.
I don't know. I really like the whatever the O is. That original?
Yep, that's original.
I like the darkness of it. They're like very, very strong flavor. I really like hot chocolates.
We are down to our last cookie and possibly our tiebreaker, because right now it is tied between sea salt and almond, if you don't count my vote.
So far, A is the best so far.
Hi, buddy.
True.
No, there's no trick.
1, 2. I'm running out the door.
This one's good too. It has a little crunch to it. I like almost like M&M's in it.
Okay.
So I like that. This one's the best. Those two are the last.
The best Feastable cookie is chocolate almond. That's actually what I would have voted for too. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button and stick around a little while. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up. I seriously spent $130 on chocolate, and this video is not sponsored. Mr. Beast has no idea that I'm doing this, so I'd really appreciate it if you do that, and I hope you enjoy this fireworks show. Alright, bye!